Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and lately I've really been enjoying reacting to videos, specifically what men are looking for or aren't looking for in women. And this woman that I came across, I think a couple of you actually sent me this video, but she's a hypergamy coach. Never heard of that before. Apparently that's what she is according to her TikTok bio. So I want to see what she has to say and what we all think about it. So let's get started.
5 reasons why I always get top tier treatment from men. Number 1, I always keep my appearance top tier. Whether I'm going out, whether I'm going to the grocery store, whether I'm running errands, I always manage to make myself come off as super put together. Not necessarily full makeup, but at least looking noticeable and presentable.
Okay, right off the bat here, this is something I can get behind. I personally think it's really important to show up for yourself and to put effort in. This includes your appearance and the way that you present yourself. And men tend to notice beauty, so this one would make sense. I think it's really important to not get comfortable and to continue to put effort in even when you've been with someone for a while. Is appearance everything? Absolutely not, but I do think it's important to, again, put effort in and to still keep that attraction alive between you and your partner.
Number 2, I keep my dating life private. Unless asked or unless they already know, I keep my dating life private. I'm not here to brag to you or tell you about the past people that I've been with, dated, married. That will later come out down the line if I allow them to know that information.
Okay, I think this one makes sense too. I think it's often a really big red flag when women come out guns a-blazing talking about their ex or their past relationships or how crazy their exes were. It's normally a turnoff when people do that, men or women. A lot of guys really don't want to hear this, first of all, so I think this makes sense. Second of all, it's kind of just unnecessary to bring up unless it gets naturally brought up throughout time. But this happens naturally, you know, as your relationship progresses and gets more serious. I don't think on the first date or the first few dates you should be, you know, laying all your relationship history out on the table.
I'm always mysterious and always busy. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting in my bed eating chips and watching Netflix. I'm busy. I don't have time to just fit you in wherever. I don't do last minute stuff. I'm busy all the time. Staying busy is the top way to make a man chase after you because they love the chase. So that leads me into my next one.
All right. Knew this had to take a turn. The truth about being busy is that you shouldn't have to fake this. You should have a purpose for yourself and be staying busy or whatever it is for yourself, not to just like pretend or trick someone into thinking that you're busy, because this is kind of just like playing mind games, you know? And you can easily set a boundary here and say, hey, I have a lot going on. I can't really do things last minute or just like fit you in my schedule, you know, whenever, wherever. I would like to, you know, have plans in advance. I think that's a perfectly fine thing to say because even now, I don't like doing things last minute. I'm a very type A, plan it out type of gal. And if you're not on my schedule for the week, I'm going to have a hard time making it work because I've already planned out everything. You know, maybe not everyone is that way, but for me personally, I can understand why she wouldn't want to do something last minute because, to be honest with you, I really wouldn't either. And that's not a pretending thing, that's a respecting my time and my boundaries thing, which is fine. But let's not lie about it and be unhealthy and just say this to make them chase you or whatever it is. I don't think this like make him obsessed with you, make him chase you, these things will make him chase you kind of content or advice is something that I would recommend. It's not healthy in my opinion. We're going to talk about that later in the video after we wrap this video up that I'm reacting to, so stick around.
I am always keeping men on their toes. They never know what's going on with me. Am I happy? Am I sad? Do I hate them? Do I love them? 1 minute I'm nice, 1 minute I'm not. Could be I might have a little bipolar in me as well. That helps. But yeah, definitely keeps them on their toes and they love it. Last but not least, number
You know what is funny? This actually reminds me of a video that I reacted to, gosh, that was probably years ago at this point, of a female content creator. I'm not going to say who. I've reacted to her many times and I don't necessarily love her content, but that is because it was very toxic and manipulative. And basically she was saying, you know, ways to get a man to chase you. Play games with him, send mixed signals, be hot 1 minute and cold the next, you know, really just play hard to get. I believe her words were something along the lines of drop him in the desert without a food or water supply. It's safe to say we did not take that advice here. But anyways, again, my point is this is not healthy for maintaining a long-term relationship, to be sending mixed signals, to be, acting hot and cold so that they, are more attached to you or not attached to you, or they chase after you, or they're obsessed with you because you're distant. This is not a healthy way to be carrying out a relationship, whether you're in the talking stage or you are a couple years in. This is not something that I would recommend doing. I never ever recommend playing mind games with people. It's toxic, it's unhealthy, it's immature, and it just screams insecurity to me. So, on to the next.
Last but not least, number 5, I make sure that I do not give any of these men any attention. My attention requires investment. Okay, so I'm not just going to be hanging out with you every Friday. I'm not just going to be going to, your spots where you can show me off and show all your guys that you got me. No, my time requires investment. If you're not willing to help me out financially, I'm not going to be around. And that's just simple. And they can know that by day 1, minimum day 2. And they should be knowing that.
Oh gosh. The issue with this is that just because someone is giving you money or spending money on you does not mean that they are treating you right. And I think a lot of women might misconstrue or see this video and think, oh, if a man is not giving me money or paying for my nails or paying for all my stuff, then he must be a dusty loser. When in reality, a lot of the time, the men who are spending the most on you, taking you to the nicest places, making it seem like it's his investment, are doing this with so many other women too. So if that's something that this girl's okay with, if that's something that you're okay with, that's your thing. If you want to be a sugar baby, this is probably good advice. But if you're looking for something healthy and sustainable and a happy relationship, this is not good advice. Because if we are solely basing, first of all, saying ways that I get men to treat me like a princess or ways I get the princess treatment from men, you all know from watching my red flags video that I would consider that to be quite a red flag, just as a statement in general. I tried to give the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes we title things and caption things in a way that garner attention. I get that as a creator. But if we're only considering princess treatment or someone treating you good to be based on a monetary factor, you're setting yourself up for a disaster. And we do ourselves a huge disservice by doing this because, again, we should not be focusing on how much someone is spending on us, where they're taking us for dates, what they're buying us. All of that really means nothing, especially to a man who has money. I had a boyfriend, I'll just give you an example here, bought me a plane ticket to Hawaii. It was $1,000. He lived in Hawaii, so he bought me a plane ticket to come visit him and was cheating on me at the very same time. Did he have money? No, he was just a cheater, so it really doesn't matter. That's besides the point. My point is, just because someone is spending a ton of money on you, buying you nice things, taking you nice places, doesn't mean they are actually treating you well at all. And that is not what we should be basing a relationship on. Point blank. Okay, let's keep going. There's more, guys.
And an extra one just for a little spice. I am never afraid of no. The more no that I get, which is very rare, I'm telling you, if you follow these past 5 steps, you will never get no. Trust me, I've never gotten no. But if I ever did get a maybe, I am already at no, technically. So why would I be scared if a man were to tell me no? I'm already at no. If I ask him for something, I'm already at no. So I might as well ask and get yes. So when you keep that mentality, it takes away that fear of asking. So remember, you're already at no. So what does it hurt if you ask? Duh.
I can see her point with that one. I think that could be something you guys keep in mind too. Like if you are scared to approach a girl, you're scared to shoot your shot, you're already at no if you don't approach or you don't say anything or you don't shoot your shot. So might as well ask, right? And I do think in general in life, if you want something, you shouldn't be afraid to ask for it. Like even if you're at a job and you want a promotion, chances are you're not going to get a promotion unless you ask, because they see that you're comfortable being where you're at. Normally a company will not give you more money unless you ask for it. So I understand that too. Don't be afraid to ask. So with some of this advice, I could see where she was going. I can see how it would be helpful. The appearance thing, making sure that you take care of yourself and look good and, you present yourself in a nice way. I can get behind 100%. And then the not revealing, or talking about your exes or your past relationships right off the bat, unless it gets more serious and it gets brought up in a conversation, that's absolutely spot on as well. I think that's a turn off and a red flag when girls do that anyway. But let me explain the issue that I have with some of these other pieces of advice and the approach here. I mentioned this a little throughout the video, but I really want to wrap it up here and drive the point home. When you start a relationship or talking to someone by playing games, it typically tends to continue throughout the relationship as well. And again, this is not something that I would recommend or encourage if you're looking for a happy, healthy relationship that's going to stand the test of time. If you want to be a sugar baby who is just looking for a man to spoil you temporarily, or to buy you a lot of things, or to pay for your stuff, then I think this advice is probably good. But if women are seeing this video and taking it as true dating advice to land them in a successful relationship, that's not really gonna work out. And I'd say most likely not happening. I saw a lot of people saying things like, your videos have made me raise my standards, and she said something about how she wouldn't accept a coffee date, and she better be picked up for dinner. And that's her thing. I'm not gonna say she shouldn't be doing that. If she wants to operate that way and live her life that way, that's her business. I don't do things that way, and I'm getting married in June. I love my life. I love my relationship. I'm doing very well. I would consider myself very successful in my relationship. So we can do things differently, and what works for me might not work for her. The truth is that most of what she said had nothing to do with standards, and it was actually more based upon preferences of this luxury lifestyle, or someone spending a lot of money on you, taking you nice places, buying you lots of things, making someone chase you. Like, none of that has anything to do with the standards that we should be setting when we are looking for a partner. Just to give you a little refresher here, standards, some examples of this are respect for your opinions, feelings, needs, beliefs, and desires, shared values, ethics, morals, and philosophy, honesty, trustworthiness, and transparency, feeling of safety, equality, and affection, healthy conflict management and ability to communicate freely, and mutual attraction and corresponding level of desire. And to be honest, I really didn't get much of that from that advice. The top tier treatment. Those things that I just mentioned to me are top tier treatment. Respect, trustworthy, honesty, shared values, core values that align, life goals that align, healthy communication. I mean, I could go on here, and none of them include, is this man spending a lot of money on me? Where is he taking me for our dates? Is he chasing me? And again, as I mentioned, I think this is because our society is viewing preferences and standards interchangeably, or just completely mixing up the two. And as more people post online about this kind of thing, or this luxury lifestyle, this princess treatment, flying me out, taking me here, buying me bags, people are associating those things with the standards. Oh, if he's not, taking me to a 4-course meal on our first date, I don't want it. If he's taking me out for coffee on a first date, he's a loser. If he doesn't get me flowers every single week, then he sucks because he knows I want flowers. Let's be realistic, guys. So this is just my opinion from a woman's perspective. You guys can let me know your perspective as a male watching down in the comments. I would love to hear what you think. Again, I agreed with some of the things she said. I think they're great, things to keep in mind when you're dating or just in life in general. But the other things, when it starts to go into the mind games, playing games, making someone chase you, being toxic, manipulation, I just can't get on board with that, guys, because I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's sustainable. And I just wouldn't recommend any of you do that or be with a woman who is doing it to you. Because on the flip side here, if we look at this from another perspective, the things she's doing come across in a way that is using you or using the men. Maybe she didn't mean it that way. Maybe that's just the way that I'm taking it from some of the things that she mentioned. But again, really just trying to make dating a little bit happier and a little bit healthier here. And I don't think included in any part of that is playing games or manipulation. So do with that what you will. So I also just want to say no hate to this creator. I don't know her personally, so I really don't feel like I can say anything else. All I know is that her bio on TikTok says Hypergamy coach, and I've seen these 2 little clips from her. And this one says, when someone tries to tell me their dating advice, but forget I'm the one who was engaged to the billionaire until he died, married a professional athlete at 22 who didn't believe in marriage, and was hypergamous since I was 17. I don't know what her relationship looks like now or if she's in one, but if I'm taking dating advice, I want my advice, or really any advice, we can cover all bases here. If I'm taking advice from someone, I want that person to be a role model, someone I look up to, someone who is currently living out what I want for myself. So if I'm, a girl on TikTok and I really want to be in a successful, happy, healthy relationship, I want to take advice from someone who's doing that too. I don't want to take advice from someone who's single. Probably. Maybe that's just me, but I just don't take advice from people who I wouldn't want my life to be like theirs. Like if I was a guy, I would not take advice on how to be with a healthy, mature girl from a man who was single and hated women. That's just common sense. Use your noggins. But I digress. You can let me know if you agree. But again, I'm picky about who I take my advice from, and I think that's helped me a lot in my life. So, just saying. So guys, that is all I have for this video. If you liked it or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop for when I release new content. If you haven't already, be sure to follow me over on Instagram at Courtney Christine Ryan. I love connecting with all of you guys over on there as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.